Good morning, it's Lisa from Lisa Heal Yourself, and today I want to talk further about the video I did yesterday, the 3 ways to heal yourself, and I want to go more in depth and talk about the first step today, right, which is acceptance. So today I want to talk about acceptance. So if you have chronic illness, chronic pain, chronic symptoms, chronic suffering, chronic emotions, chronic anxiety, chronic depression, if you have fibromyalgia, if you have chronic fatigue syndrome, disease, whatever is in the body, whatever is there, I want to talk about acceptance, which is the first step to healing anything, truly. So let's talk about acceptance a little bit. So if you were to accept somebody fully, let's just take your husband or your children and you say, I fully accept them. What does acceptance actually mean? It means that you allow them to be, to do, to say, to think, to feel however they want, however they choose, however they want, without judgment or criticism or anger or frustration, or you will be there for them no matter what. You accept fully the way that they think, feel, say, and act, and they don't have to change or be something different or be something else. They can express who they are, and you will just accept it, right? That is true acceptance. That's true acceptance. We're not trying to change anything, right, about somebody else. We're allowing them to be who they are, fully who they are. That's true acceptance. So when we're talking about our internal states, we have sensations in our body, we have thoughts, and we have emotions. And the first step is acknowledging and accepting our reality, right? The situation, the events going on, and the thoughts, the sensations, and the emotions that we have about things that are going on, about things that are happening to us, around us, our environment, our internal state. Whatever's happening is happening. So the first step is just allowing that, accepting that, not trying to change it. So it's very important that we're not in resistance, right? Acceptance is the opposite of resisting. If we're resisting something, we're trying to change it. We're trying to force it to be something that it's not. We're trying so hard to either get away from it, to change it, right? This is the opposite of what we want to be doing. So if you have cancer, if you have chronic fatigue syndrome, if you have a pain spike, if you have, whatever it is that you're experiencing, the first thing to do is acknowledge that it is a separate part of you. It is an entity that is not you. It's a different part, and it is what it is. It is expressing how it feels, what it thinks, and what it is experiencing right now. And our job is to allow it. If we disidentify, and I'll talk about that in the next video, then we can step back and see it as a different part of us. But for the first thing that we need to do is just accept reality. Accept what is. Allow it freely. Don't try to change it. Don't try to resist it. Don't try to run away from it. I know it hurts. I know it sucks. I know it's all the things that you don't want. And our biological response, our deep response to things that we don't want or don't like, is to change them, is to cut off from them, is to run away from them, right? And it will follow us. That is why pain, symptoms, disease, chronic illness follows us. Because we're trying, and when we're in resistance to something, we're fighting it. And when we're fighting it, we can never heal. We can never start the process of healing. So first we have to accept it, okay? We can never take action to actually heal something unless we accept it. So yes, there's steps that we want to do physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally in order to heal. Maybe it's a certain diet, maybe it's a certain protocol, maybe it's a certain exercise or a thought process or whatever it is that we want to do to heal ourselves. We can never do it while we're fighting it, resisting it, turning away from it, running from it, or trying to change it in any way. So first is full acceptance. It is what it is. This is what it is. There's nothing that we can do. We simply let our guard down and let it be. Let it be. Just step back. We don't judge it. We don't criticize it. We don't try to change it. We just acknowledge what is. That is the very first step. Just acknowledging what is and allowing what is. That is acceptance, right? Recognizing what is and accepting, allowing what is. Just it is. It is. And it is not you. And I will go into that in the next video of disidentification. But for the first step is very simple. We just don't fight what is. We don't turn away from what is. We just allow what is. We see it for what it is. It is what it is, right? It's here. And so it's here. We just look at it. We see it. We allow it. We don't resist it. We don't fight it. We don't turn away from it. And we don't try to change it. That is the first step and the hardest step, because nobody wants to allow something that they don't like. But just for clarification, before we move on to the next videos, allowing doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean rolling over, and it doesn't mean staying stuck. Far from it. It just means that we allow what is, we accept what is as our starting place. Okay? We can only start from pure acceptance, and then we can change. So this is the first step, to just allow and be in full acceptance of what actually is reality right now. So I hope this video has been helpful. Stay tuned for my second video on disidentification. It's the second step, and we'll just go through these a little bit more in depth. So I hope it's been helpful. And I want to add one more thing about acceptance, right? Just like that little child crying and having a temper fit, rolling around on the ground, screaming, is not what you want. You don't want to allow that. You don't want to accept that. You don't want to continue and for that child to be like that forever, right? But you see that child, and even though you don't want it and you don't like it and you wish it would stop, you can just accept it. Accept it for what it is in that moment. Does it mean the child will be like that forever? Nor does it mean you will be like this forever, right? You accepted them. You don't accept the behavior. You might not be accepting or relating or liking the behavior or even wanting it at all on any level. But you accept them. You love them. And acceptance is accepting fully and completely yourself in that moment of not liking something, but not abandoning yourself. So you're not going to turn away from or abandon or disown or try to change or criticize or judge yourself, right? You may not like what's happening. You may not like what's going on. You may wish it was different. You may beg or long for it to be different. You may pray, scream, kick for it to be different. But you can still accept yourself, your being, that person there who needs the acceptance, who needs the love, in spite of what's happening. Okay, so that's a key. It's in spite. You love and accept yourself fully and completely in spite of the sensations that you don't like, in spite of the thoughts that you're having that you don't like, in spite of the emotions that you wish would go away. You love and fully accept yourself. That is what's called self-love. And that's what it means to accept.